The third meeting of the House Budget Review Subcommittee on Justice and Judiciary for this session. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Brown, Representative Decker, Representative Kulkarni, Representative Sharp,
Present.
Representative Petrie, Representative Reed, Representative Elliott, Chair Flannery.
Here. I believe we are one short of a quorum to approve the minutes, so we will defer that to the next meeting, or we may have someone come in a few minutes. We'll approve it then. Today on the agenda, we have an update from the Office of the State Medical Examiner to discuss staffing issues in the Northern Kentucky office. If you folks could come to the table, please. Before we get started, we now have a quorum with Representative Decker being present. Have a motion to approve the previous minutes. Second. I'm allowed second. Representative Decker, will you second that motion? Second. We have a motion and a second. Minutes are approved from last meeting a week ago. All right, at the table we have Dr. Bill Ralston, Chief Medical Examiner, and Rebecca Norton. Folks, if you all would introduce yourselves for the record, and please proceed with your testimony.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Bill Ralston, and I am the Chief Medical Examiner.
I'm Rebecca Norton. I'm the Budget Director for the Justice Cabinet.
Well, today, thank you for your time. We are going to I'll give a brief history of the issues. Then I will speak to the staffing issues, and Ms. Norton will then speak to the Northern Kentucky facility. For years, the Medical Examiner's Office faced some staffing issues, including too few staff as well as, frankly, non-competitive salaries. However, in 2022, with the passage of House Bill 1, money was allocated to improve both staffing and salaries. And there have been some very positive outcomes because of that. For example, prior to the passage of this bill, we were able to hire 6 autopsy technicians across the 3 regional offices within the Commonwealth. Currently, we now are able to hire 11. Primarily based upon staffing numbers as well as competitive salaries within the region and, frankly, now across the nation. In addition to that, allocations were made to promote staffing amongst the forensic pathologists, the medical examiners performing the post-mortem examinations or autopsies. To date, we've had jobs posted for vacancies within the Frankfort regional office since September 12th of last year. Unfortunately, we've only had one interested candidate in that position. However, that we feel as though we'll probably be able to hire that candidate when she concludes her training in July. So there is some positive. Fortunately, across the country, there's a shortage of forensic pathologists. And so Kentucky is not alone. That shortage has created difficulties in the hiring process. However, we have at least been able to make the salaries competitive with the region and across the nation. We have been able to retain all of the pathologists since that time, which was becoming an issue as well. So because of the funds that were allocated, we've had very positive impacts on our staffing and being able to maintain that staffing. Well, certainly, we have been able to retain all of the forensic pathologists since that salary increment was increased. and we've now been able to recruit at least one additional pathologist. And the salaries, as I said, are competitive. It's just, frankly, there's a shortage of forensic pathologists in the country, with less than 400 full-time practicing forensic pathologists in the United States, as well as the training programs are only producing around 40 new forensic pathologists every year.
Sure. So House Bill 1 also authorized the Justice Cabinet to establish a lease for an office in Northern Kentucky. So we're really excited to be working with Northern Kentucky University to lease space in a soon-to-be renovated building on the NKU campus, which is in Highland Heights in Campbell County. So this space will be comparable to the size of the Louisville Office of the State Medical Examiner, and it'll be modified by NKU to meet the medical examiner's operational requirements. And the location and the building entrances will also be easily accessible for the local coroners. So Justice and Northern Kentucky University are working on finalizing details of the actual lease agreement right now. And we hope to have final approval granted to move forward with the lease and associated project. And that's based on NKU has an upcoming board meeting in mid-March, so we're just waiting for their approval. But so far, all of the feedback has been positive, including some feedback from NKU directly. So we're really looking forward to collaborating on this project. We think it'll be mutually beneficial to the operations of the medical examiner and the university. There's currently no estimated date for completion of the facility renovations. However, we're going to work really closely with NKU to kind of develop that renovation timeline. And kind of per that renovation timeline, we will execute any hiring or procurement necessary to occupy the facility in a timely manner. So we'll try to line up our recruitment process that Dr. Ralston was just speaking to with sort of the estimated completion date for that facility. Not that I don't think that we've identified as far as the lease or the construction, anything along those lines is concerned. Of course, I think there's always the concern, as you were just saying, about just being able to recruit based on the number of pathologists that are graduating each year.
I believe that'll be the biggest barrier we face, is the recruitment of forensic pathologists to staff the facility.
No, thank you for
No.
having us back.